Oh, I can't believe I missed. Oh, that... What? Hello and welcome back to Blood and Smoke. And indeed, look at where we are. Oh yes, we're going to fight some deserters here. Now, if we can defeat these guys, we're going to get a decent amount of influence. But the main goal that we're going to have for this episode is earning enough money to be able to purchase a very special pair of items. And this was told to me by someone in the comments, and I was like, okay, that sounds like a pretty fun idea. I don't know what it's going to do, because I obviously haven't tried this out. Ooh, that was a bad miss. Oh, well, never mind. We've got 5 more bombs. It's okay. Anyway, the blunderbuss plus experimental black powder combo. That is going to be the thing we're going to try to afford. I did take a look at it just now. Unfortunately, it is very expensive. I'm not entirely sure. Do you see what that? Do you see that red light right there? When I move. Oh no, I'm not sure if that's something to do with. Maybe that's something to do with the explosives or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah. Anyway, the point is, ooh, nice damage. Yeah, we're gonna hopefully be able to generate a significant amount of cash, because what I ideally need to do is I need to go into fights and I need to win them. Yeah, I mean, you know, it kind of stands to reason that we need to win them. And then we're going to attempt to purchase the blunderbuss and the experimental ammo. And that's hopefully going to make a pretty significant difference to everything that we're doing, because apparently it's amazing. Apparently it's like AoE. It's like an AoE damage knockdown kind of thing. I'm not entirely sure what it's actually going to do, but I am very intrigued because someone said that it's really fun. So might as well, right? Yeah, might as well. I'm actually going to get shot and killed here probably in just a second, but that's okay, because we are going to achieve victory and we do have preventive medicine. Actually, you know what? Let's try to stay alive, because I wouldn't mind. Whoa, okay, I'm actually getting shot down here. Okay, that's pretty crazy. Yeah, anyway, I wouldn't mind just trying to maintain as much of our HP as possible. This guy's going to hit me, or is he not? No, he didn't. Oh, I'm actually very surprised. Okay. They're pretty good. They're pretty good at shooting as far as I can tell. This guy might actually hit me. No, he missed. Boom. I hit. Yeah, that's what you get, sir. That is what you get. Alright, so yeah, we did actually get 3 skill points as well. Really nice. Very nice. Yeah, so we can hopefully... yeah, we got a lot of musketeers right now. Do we have too many? Do we have too many musketeers? No, I don't think so, right? No, I don't think so. I think we need more musketeers, if anything. I think that's probably going to be the way to go. Yeah, but yeah, look at that. 11.7 influence, and we basically lost no one, which is absolutely perfect. That is exactly what we need every single time. So yeah, we're going to continue leveling up those musketeers. I have attempted to do so very recently as well, because I just feel like it's just way too good to say no to. And what is this? This is a brass hand cannon. And you can see how crazy this is. Now, unfortunately, it is not usable on horseback. I think... I'm actually unsure if there is a... Is there a perk in the crossbow tree that actually allows you to use any crossbow on horseback? I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, well... I don't think... As I say, I don't think it particularly matters, because we're going to go for what I said beforehand. And we're just going to take a look at the crossbow tree real quick, because I'm sure there is... Yeah, there it is. Look at that. You can reload any crossbow on horseback. So it's only at 175 that becomes available, which is not that far away. So I'm actually pretty happy with this. Now, we're just going to have to move on here and try and see if we can snipe a little ASERAI vassal that's running around randomly here, because the problem is... they have 2 armies. They have 2 armies up and running right now, and they are currently... Yep, as you can see, they literally just took this just now. This was Tamna Castle. I literally went by here, and the Southern Empire were the owners. And now, as you see, we have Ulbos and Debana, them doing some siege at Hussein Fulk. Now, obviously, as you can see, they have 2 armies as well. Now, the ASERAI are heavily outnumbered. But this is exactly the reason why I personally believe, well, let's just say that the geography of the ASERAI is both their strength and their weakness to a certain degree. Because you have, well, as you can quite clearly tell, with the exception of ships and so on and so forth, because obviously, you know, war sails, this mod, as far as I'm aware, is not compatible with war sails, just so you know. But yeah, otherwise, if you had war sails, people would be able to come across the water here, and then it would be a little bit less secure for the ASERAI. However, most people don't tend to do that, even with war sails. So generally, you do have this geography here that literally leads down into ASERAI territory, and the same thing with Kuyaz over here. Technically, there isn't this little crossing in the new war sails map, as far as I remember. And that means that there is no, you know, there is no like really easy way for anyone from the central Calradian area, for example here where the Southern Empire and the Western Empire are, to come down and assault the ASERAI. So this is also the reason why I personally believe that the ASERAI have the best geography in the entire game, just because they only have, in war sails that is, one entry point, which is going to be down here next to the Southern Empire. So technically they only need, well, they only need to worry about one person, right? They only need to worry about one Southern Empire faction dealing with them, which is actually super nice, to be honest. Really, really nice for them. Now, we're going to go into a battle against these guys, because these are just forest people. Now, that sounds a little bit ridiculous for me to say that. They are just forest people. Yes, they're just going to hug some trees or something like that. But no, they're not actually going to do that, because they do outnumber us quite dramatically. And as you can see, they even have some cannoneers. They have 3 cannoneers and 2 grenadiers. So this could potentially be a little bit damaging, and indeed I think what we do need to do actually is get our focus points to 5 in both throwing and crossbow. I think that's probably going to make a big difference. Alright, so first of all, this is actually not too good. I was just taking a look at the environment here, trying to think to myself, okay, well, what are we going to do? Because look at what we got. We got nothing. We got nothing. The game was like, yeah, you know what? We're not going to give you anything. No, there is nothing here for you to use. And then I was just like, yeah, okay, well, that's going to have to be how it is. But yes, we do have 6 bombs at least. That is a grand total of 4 more than we would usually have. And indeed, my forces are firing right now. And indeed, we are also receiving retaliation, too, from the opponent. So I think what I'm going to do, and this, you know what? Okay, fine. I'm actually going to do something a little bit less idiotic than normal. And I'm going to tell these guys to follow me. Now, the reason why I'm doing this, and obviously this is probably not going to do much, because the AI does tend to target the player character more than the other forces on your team. But yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to try and see if I can maybe, just maybe, do something like this. This is obviously not going to do much because we don't have RBM or anything like that, but I am going to attempt to just distract them somewhat. Let's do some damage. Ugh. Okay, really? Only one? Only one hit? This is terrible. I need to get these guys to kind of like group up somewhat and try to murder us. There we go. There's my scholar guy getting killed there. And indeed, these gunners are going to be very, very damaging for us. So what we need to do is we need to try to distract them as much as possible, which is exactly what I'm trying to do here, as the enemy charges ahead. Yeah, I needed to shoot these guys. Unfortunately, I got shot in the process, and they actually interrupted that, which was pretty bad. That is pretty bad. Okay, here we go. Oh, are you serious? Come on. You could do much better than that. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. There we go. There we go. Okay, we need these cannoneers to die. Thank you. There we are. And the grenadiers have also perished. And I believe this is also the reason why I personally believe that the forest people are usually relatively easy for us to deal with. I'm going to actually tell these guys to charge in now. Hopefully that is going to be good enough. We might actually end up dying here. Ooh, nice damage, nice damage. Okay, come on out. Can we... Ooh, we did 12 damage with a charge in the base game. Wow, that's kind of unheard of right there. Especially considering we don't really have that much riding skill. Alright, so yeah, anyway, I believe this is it. Let's tell our guys to charge in. We're going to be, you know, just as aggressive as we can be. I feel like I probably wasted our cavalry, to be honest, but I'm not entirely sure. Because they did get a bit of a distraction you know, the opposing gunner forces. So I suppose it's not that bad. However, I am probably going to die here, maybe. Ah, there we go. Okay, no, we're actually alive. I'm surprised. Okay, let's see if we can do something. Come on, reload, reload, reload. Oh, I cannot believe I missed. Okay, yeah, I need to aim higher, by the way. I don't know whether you've noticed that already, but you probably have. But yes, I need to aim a little bit higher than where the enemy actually is. Oh, that's a classic, isn't it? Yes, that's a classic. Okay, so let me actually just see here. Can I take over some of the... Yeah, there we go, there we go. Okay, so we could take over some of these musketeers. I personally prefer the musketeers because they have a much higher accuracy at longer ranges, and I'm going to be able to do some pretty crazy cool things. Oh, wow, yeah, the accuracy is not actually that good. Oh, wow, I actually managed to hit him, though. I actually managed to hit him. That's crazy. Okay, I certainly wasn't expecting that. Well, we're pretty good. So let's actually just see. Yeah, so the crosshair is now absolutely just murdering us right here. Okay, yeah, I'm not entirely sure how this would actually be if we were in a real battle against a vassal. I mean, yeah, this guy is technically a vassal, but you know what I mean. He's, you know, not the strongest, not the strongest. Okay, so let's just take him prisoner real quick, and I do have 7 spaces. I'm going to take... Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I will take some tier 4s. Okay, I will take some... Should I just... I kind of want to take all the... I kind of want to take all the tier 5s and the tier 4s as well. Yeah, that's exactly what we're going to do. That is a little bit risky because what it's going to do is it's going to slow us down, you see. It's going to slow us down. I'm not a big fan of that. I personally prefer being as, you know, fast on our feet, as it were, as possible. But, well, some things have to be done. Some things have to be done. So we're just going to have to make do with what we're having going on here and try and see if we can maybe just survive a little bit while our forces recover. And I do have 1 focus point. Look at that. I actually have 1 focus point. So the question is, what should we spec into? Well, I mean, you can see here, once we get to 200 in throwing weapons, we get an additional +2 ammunition, which I have to admit is pretty crazy. Because what we're actually going to be able to do then, and so I think I will probably spec into that, but yes, what we're going to be able to do then is, theoretically, I could go over into my inventory. I could literally just remove something. Obviously, this is the reason why I was talking in the previous episode about an additional weapon slot. That would be wonderful. I'm sure there's a mod that actually adds that anyway, but yeah, well, the point is, I could remove the Dawnbreaker if I wanted to. I could remove my sword, which would leave me completely defenseless in a close quarter situation, of course. However, it would provide us with an additional 6 bombs, or in the case of us having Resourceful, the Resourceful perk that we've just looked at, we would then have an additional 8 bombs, because, you know, it's cumulative from, yeah, depending on the pieces of equipment that you have. So, yeah, we would have, you know, 2 + 2, and then all the perks added in, and we'd have basically 16 bombs for us to use, which is exactly the reason why the ammunition boosting stuff is amazing. Is very, very good. Okay, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to go into this hideout. Should we go into this hideout? I kind of want to, because it's going to give us some pretty easy and quick influence. The problem with it, and is this guy actually faster than me? Wow, he actually seemed pretty quick. But yeah, it's going to give us some pretty quick and easy influence. However, it is going to make it a lot easier for the ASERAI vassals to move around and stuff. I mean, they're already moving around pretty quickly, and I suppose it's easier for them to eliminate desert bandits. I kind of want to... You know what? I'm going to do it, because I think maybe what's going to happen here is that if we leave the hideout, it's possible that this is going to be more of a benefit to the ASERAI than not, because it's going to increase the population of desert bandits, which makes it a lot easier for them to do damage and to get loot and to get money and all that wonderful stuff that, you know. So yeah, I think it's probably a good idea. I don't know. I think that's probably a good idea, and it also gives me an opportunity to use my wonderful crossbow in this really fun situation. Because for me personally, actually, really enjoy using the crossbow. Obviously not in not against this guy, because he's got a shield. And that'd probably not be the best idea, because it's probably going to block the bolt or something like that. But yeah, there we go. Oh, hello there, sir. Ah, yes, he's got a shield. He's got a gun! This is bad. Oh yeah, this is very bad. I might be able to win. There we go. Whew. Okay, that was a little bit too close for my liking. I did not realize that there was going to be a guy coming around the corner. That was not so good. The timing was very inopportune. Yeah. Okay. So what I've actually what I've actually said to myself basically, and I haven't really told you this yet, but what I basically said to myself is that I'm not going to use the Alt key unless I cannot find the last remaining enemies. Is this guy gonna see me? Imagine not seeing. Oh yeah, that's crazy. Okay, yeah. So yeah, that's what I've said. I'm basically not going to use the Alt key, because if I use the Alt key, I can just basically see where everyone is, and I'm only going to do that if I cannot find the person, because you know, it just eliminates all the challenge, in my opinion, or at the very least, most of it. And for me personally, I don't really mind that. You know, if you personally want to use the Alt key, then you know that's all very well and good. You can do that. But for me personally, I'm just gonna, you know, make do without it for the moment, because I think it's more fun. Okay, so let me actually just see. Oh, hello. Yeah. So no, you don't get those kinds of situations where you actually have these guys coming down. Oh, I can't believe I missed. Oh, that. What? Okay. That was amazing. Wow, that was actually really, really well done, to be honest. That was actually really, really well done by that guy. He absolutely dialed it in. He had his gun and everything. He pulled it out. And despite the fact that he had just been shot, he was still able to do what he needed to do. Alright, so as you can see, we are now in a battle against a caravan. Now, so here's the thing with caravans. I actually find this quite funny. I just noticed this literally just now, because usually I don't really take much notice of that, because let's face it, if you're going to attack a caravan, then, well, most of the time, the enemy is not going to be too pleased with you, right? However, in this situation, it kind of stood out to me, you know? It kind of stood out to me quite a great deal. So basically, what happens is, when you first initially talk to the notable, and you're, well, shall we say, talk to the caravan leader, you're going to be like, yes, stop right there. I would like to raid your goods. And that immediately reduces your relation with that particular notable, whoever owns the caravan, of course. And I find that quite funny, because yeah, okay, fine, you're talking to them, but that could mean any number of things. Like, you could be, I don't know, I mean, maybe you want to do business with them or something like that, but I assume, because we're obviously at war against the ASERAI, they already know, you know, they already know what's going to happen, basically. So, you know, I suppose it stands to reason that the relation would go down. But then it's actually quite funny, because when you press attack, right, when you press attack and you go in against a caravan, like actually aggression, like we're doing right now, it reduces the relation again by the same amount. And I find that, as I say, I find that quite amusing, because it's like, well, I've already kind of done the aggression thing by basically just going in and being like, hello there, I am here and I'm ready to murder you. You know, so I've already done that. So it's kind of funny to me that they would, you know, reduce relation twice over. But I suppose that's, you know, it's just how it goes. But anyway, the whole point is that I found that quite amusing. And the fact that the notable, I mean, like, are we ever going to be like, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna recruit people from this place, you know, this guy's town. Are we ever gonna recruit people from there? No. And that's obviously one of the, wow, I can't believe I missed that. But yeah, that's obviously one of the most amazing things about Bannerlord in general, is that the world is so large. Because, obviously, as you know, there are many, many different towns and castles. I think there is actually, and this is quite a funny thing, because I was actually looking at the achievements for Bannerlord, and you're of course going to need a mod to re-enable achievements in the sandbox mode. I don't know why they would be disabled to begin with, but you know, that's just how it goes. Anyway, the point is, you're going to need a mod for that, which is pretty easy. There are quite a few different, you know, achievement re-enabling mods. Did I actually level up just now? Yes! I think we actually leveled up our clan tier. That was completely by mistake, by the way. That was completely by mistake. I did not realize that we were that close. Okay, that's fantastic. And look at this. We just gained a tier 5 grenadier. Oh, yeah. Okay, so let me just continue with what I was talking about before I completely forget what I was talking about. Yeah, that's the problem. I think I've forgotten what I was talking about, don't I? I was talking about achievements. I was talking about... Ah, yes, there we go. I was talking about exploration. Yeah, so there is actually an achievement in the game that is a very rare achievement, and obviously, to be expected, you know, it's one of those where anyone can get it. It just takes a significant amount of time if you don't, you know, well, if you do it legitimately, let's say. If you do it legitimately, then it will take quite a long time. But it's not difficult to do. Let's just say that. Because basically what it is going to every single fief on the map. And that's it. Yeah. Going to every single fief on the map. It's pretty easy, right? Yeah. And, you know, you'd think, oh yeah, that's very easy. And yeah, it is actually very easy. But it is just one of those things that not a lot of people have because the map is so massive. And I think that's actually one of the things that, like I said, that's why I find it so funny that notables like have relations and stuff like that. Yeah, okay, fine. You know, in your very own faction, for example, I think that relations and notable relations specifically, they're very important, of course. You want to make sure that you have as good a relation as possible with the people that you're going to be working with and doing business with and so on. If you're a mercenary, for example, or if you're a vassal, then of course you want your, I don't know, your subjects, I guess, to have you know, a decent opinion of you so that they can, you know, have a much better time working with you. Anyway, we're going to take resourceful here, +2 ammunition for throwing weapons. I think that's pretty amazing, because that means we're going to have even more bombs. And that was actually the reason why I was talking about that whole notable thing. How often are you going to see those people? You know what I mean? Like, for example, this guy, right? This guy, Jamer, I believe was his name. I highly doubt, even if I were to, you know, resign my commission with the Southern Empire and then take up arms with the ASERAI, highly doubt I would ever encounter this guy more than, I don't know, maybe even once, maybe 0 times in the entire playthrough, just because there are so many places to interact with. It doesn't matter if I lose relation with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 individual notables, you see? And that's the reason why I was talking about that, because the map is just so large. Yeah, as you can see, I still can't do the hideout, unfortunately, but yeah, that's just how it's going to have to be. So anyway, I'm actually going to make my way back to Southern Empire territory. I will attempt to attack any caravan that I come across, because let's face it, we just got some amazing horse armor from it. So this is exactly what I was talking about beforehand. So as you can see right here, we got these notables right now, and they are, of course, relatively strong. At the very least, as you can see right here, you can actually recruit some noble troops, or you know, higher level elite troops that will eventually become janissaries and cannoneers, grenadiers, etc., etc. And indeed, these guys are actually tier 6s, which is extremely powerful. So as you can see, I can literally recruit these guys with impunity because, of course, our wonderful friends, Mr. Olbus, yeah, okay, yeah, I won't try to say that name again. But yeah, that fellow over there, he's done a great job because he has actually just captured this castle. And this is exactly what I was saying. These notables do not know of us. They have no idea who we are. And as a result, our relation is completely and utterly fine. We don't have to worry about these guys hating us or anything like that, because the one caravan guy, he's far away. You know, he's not going to say to, you know, person XYZ that, you know, this guy has raided our caravans and everything. No, no, no. There's nothing like that. So that's exactly the reason why I think that a little bit of caravan raiding here and there never actually hurt anyone, apart from the caravan people themselves, which is a little bit sad for them. But, you know, that's how it goes. Anyway, we're just going to sell everything that I can here. As I said, I do need to get a very significant amount of cash. And it is going to be a little bit difficult for us to do that, unfortunately, at the moment. Actually, maybe not. There's 8,900. That's pretty good. That's actually a lot better than I anticipated. Okay, let's just sell what I can here. That's pretty nice. Can we get rid of some grain? Yeah, let's get rid of some grain. Get some butter instead. Get some grapes, and there we go. We'll just make 8,000 from that. And let's go into the firearms armory here, because, as I said, I wouldn't mind just taking a look and seeing, because I think the experimental ammo is 25,000. Yes, it is. As you can see right there, it is AoE plus knockdown. And you can see it actually has a stack amount of 50, which is pretty insane in itself. So we're going to need the blunderbuss, which is 12,000. And we're going to need the experimental ammo, which is 25,000. So if I am correct, that's about a load of money. I'm just joking. Yeah, it's about 37,000 or so. So that's going to be a bit problematic, isn't it? Alright, so it's time for us to go in against an actual vassal here. We have Tariq, who is attempting to raid the village that we actually just recruited from, which is actually quite funny because we're going to be increasing our relations with the notables here. Yes, we will probably be attempting to do that. Now, the question is, I don't know what his composition is, so this is going to be a problem. Maybe, because that means that our cannoneers and various other things may, in fact, face some stiff opposition. Nice, okay. I will try to use my bombs relatively liberally here. Try to just throw them anywhere I can, just to try to eliminate as many of these mounted troops as possible, especially the slightly higher level ones. Oh, I cannot believe I actually missed that. Thought I definitely hit the rider there. Oh, wait. Did you see that right there? I was literally in the throwing animation and it interrupted me. That's hilarious. Okay. Yeah, no, we're okay. I need to make sure I use every single one of my bombs. If we don't, it's gonna be so sad. It's gonna be extremely sad. Okay, let me just tell these guys to spread out, tell these guys to go into the front there. Despite the fact that they are both basically archers, I would like the ones with shields to stand in the front, if at all possible. Nice damage. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. That is what we want. Unfortunately, I am now gonna get shot and killed, I think. Oh, yeah, well, that was a camel. That's not exactly what I was certainly not hoping for that. Okay, let's just tell our forces to charge in, tell our cavalry to charge in more specifically. We are actually... Whoa, we are destroying them right now. Look at this. I guess it's because the enemy has decided to literally just charge in. Nice damage. Okay, there we go. We need that. And one more. Boom. What? Did you see that? Didn't even hit them. Okay, that was funny. Alright, well, I think I can probably just kind of sit back a little bit and maybe snipe some. Well, that was a little bit too, literal, because I did not actually assume that I was going to hit anything. But yeah, that was pretty nice. Now, if I can just... Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if I really want to do anything else right now, because I feel like we have a massive advantage right here, and I think if I move, we may lose that advantage. Unless... you know what? No. My instinct says let's just go, because if we press home the advantage, you can hear from the music as well that they're kind of on the back foot. That's kind of the music that dictates a little bit... Yep, as you can see right there. Yeah. The music kind of tells you, kind of gives you a bit of an inkling when the opponent is ready to retreat. And that's exactly what they did. There you go. Look at that. 13 renown and 18 influence. And we did end up losing a couple of regulars. Nothing really to worry about too much there. And indeed, I can take this guy prisoner. That actually reminds me, we do have a bunch of other prisoners available. So I think what I'm going to do... yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I will take the tier 4s. I will take the tier 4s from the prisoners. Actually, we will take... Oh. Never mind. I was going to say, actually, we will take some of the higher tier 1s. Because it seems like tier 5s do actually get converted relatively fast. Which I must admit, I am very surprised about. I was expecting it to be kind of bad, but yeah. What I do need to do, though, is I need to actually equip Iltas, because he is sucking really badly at the moment with his gear. So we do want to get him something a little bit better, don't we? So let's get him a nice little shield. And there you go. He's already looking much better. So let's just have a look-see. What is he actually good at? Well, we know he's already a very good medic. But the question is he good at anything combat-related? And the answer to that is no, he's not. He is pretty good at one-handed. Well, I say pretty good, he only has 56, but that's going to have to do, isn't it? So, yes, we'll just give him this nice one-handed iron scimitar. We could give him a gun. 28. It's only 28. He only has 28, but I'm going to do it, okay? We're going to... Actually, you know what? I'm going to give him this. Let's give him this hand cannon right here. I think that sounds pretty fun. Let's take away his horse as well, because his riding skill is... Why can I not see his riding skill? Am I blind? No, it's not even here. I think his riding skill must be... Oh no, there it is. It's up at the top. Yeah, apparently I am blind. Okay, so anyway, point is, he only has 27 in riding, and I think this says everything. I think we need to... Can he use black powder ammo with the cannon? Or does he need special cannon ammo or something like that? There we go. The village was saved successfully with your help, and indeed we have increased our relation with this guy. I'm not entirely sure why we didn't increase our relation with every single person here, but you know, that's how it goes. Anyway, I'm going to make my way back over to the town, and we're going to actually see something, because if there is specific cannon armor, or cannon ammo, then I would like to be able to purchase it, if at all possible. Because despite the fact that, yes, I do want to get the blunderbuss and the experimental ammo and all that wonderful stuff, I'm just wondering whether there is actually specific... Yes, there is actually specific cannon ammo. And this is very cheap, so I'm actually very pleased about that. So, as you can see, it's a hand cannon. But does that mean it uses cannon ammo, or is it just a name? Because obviously you can call a... You know, you can call a technically, you could call a Desert Eagle or a, or what is it now, or a Magnum or something like that a hand cannon. Technically, you could call it that if you wanted to. Okay, I'm going to give him the cannon ammo and we'll see if that works. It probably will, right? Let's sell all of this, just to kind of get some of our money back. And there you go. All right, yeah, so we have 22,000. We're still going to have to... Wait a minute. Oh, I was kind of hoping for a really, really nice task there. Like an escort merchant caravan mission or an ambush or something along those lines. That would have been amazing. All right. Wow. Look at what we've got going on surrounding us right here. This is pretty crazy. Okay, so the question is, why is Ilta... Oh, yeah, no, Iltas is not mounted. Yeah, of course. That's absolutely fine. Okay, so we're just going to swap around me and this guy. I mean, I technically have... I kind of have more perks than him, don't I? I kind of have more perks than him. There are only 2 cavalry as well, so I think I'm just going to put him as a lieutenant in this regard right here. Now, this is going to be kind of interesting because, on the one hand, what I ideally would like to do is get to the top of this dune over here. And it is not dune part 1, 2, or 3, by the way. It is not that. No, thank you very much. But yes, what we are going to do is we're going to move to the top here, and we're going to see if we can... Oh yeah, no, we're definitely going to have enough time. I think we will have enough time to get here. So this is going to be extremely, extremely effective if we can make this work. So let's hope. Cross our fingers and just see. I would like a nice little shot. Yeah, never mind. That didn't work out too well. Maybe we can do something here against these guys. They're a little bit closer together. Nice. There we go. Need a bit more than that, though. I need a bit more than that. 1? How did I hit only 1? I have no idea. That's crazy. Okay, well, let's try this out. Nice. I knew that was the enemy vassal right there, so I was like, yeah, I'm just going to target him down. Just going to target him, and he's dead. He's out of there. And there's the grenadier. Let's try and slash a couple of people, as you do. And we'll see if we can achieve victory in the end. Well, this is actually a game over for them, isn't it? Yes, absolutely. If we tell our guys to charge in now, that is, I believe, a retreat. Yeah, as you can see, they are already retreating. I have not done particularly well in this fight. Oh, there we go. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, we finally got to 151 in crossbows, which is always good. And let's see if I can maybe... I was kind of hoping to target down some of these higher level... enemies. There we go. Nice. 2 skill points in crossbows just for that, and that was a super simple shot as well. Nothing to write home about there. If you get really long range shots and you're riding sideways and shooting, you can get some massive skill gains if you manage to hit someone that's a little bit higher level. Yeah, but as you can see, that is indeed a victory for us. Once again, a victory by retreat, which is quite staggering, if I do say so myself. Actually, very much appreciate that, to be honest. I really love making opponents retreat, and indeed, I just... oh my, that has to be the most embarrassing thing ever. Literally, being just kind of like nudged, kind of. Yeah, that was a bit of a nudge, wasn't it? Yes, that was a bit of a nudge. That is hilarious. Because we did 3 damage. Yeah, we did 3 damage to him. Let's just send our troops in. Nice little auto-resolve there. And get our skill in tactics to 50. And look at that, 27 influence, 18 renown, very nice. And I'm actually just going to take him prisoner. And once again, this is great, because what I can now do is that we can now take these really high levels and we can now convert them to our side, or we will be able to convert them to our side at some point in the near future. So what we're going to do as well, yeah, we're going to make these into pistoliers, because what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to look at the troop tree every single time. I'm just going to make sure that they are leveling into the highest levels possible, because if you take a look at the Imperial tree, you could see that what I was actually doing was leveling my musketeers into pistoliers, and then basically cutting off a significant amount of stat gains. Just purely because I personally preferred their equipment. I prefer the pistolier equipment over the musketeer. However, in my opinion, it's better to maximize their levels. So that's exactly the reason why I'm going to be going for musketeers with Imperials and pistoliers with the ASERAI. I think that makes the most sense. So we'll otherwise just move on here, and they don't have a huge amount of pretty much anything, unfortunately. So it's going to be good enough for us to gain a little bit of extra cash, but nothing really hugely to write home about. But we are in possession of 59 influence. I kind of want to leave the Southern Empire and join another faction, because this contract that we currently have is way too low, in my opinion. And it only gets us like, what, 90 gold per influence point, which is not very good in my opinion. We're going to go for Annoying Buzz here, because I generally use ranged attacks a lot more. And indeed, it's probably a good idea for us to take a look and see what we can do with our crossbow perks as well. So let's have a look. 50% increased resistance to getting staggered while reloading your crossbow. Okay, so this obviously makes it so that you can continue reloading even if you take damage, or at the very least, sometimes, you know, 50%, well, it gives you 50% additional resistance. So that's quite nice. However, for me personally, I think I'd probably like to take this, but this is only really for sieges. This is not really going to be something that will help you that much in a field battle, if you're using a horse, of course. If you're on your, you know, on your little feet, then you're going to be absolutely fine. taking this, and that's gonna be okay. So I will actually end up taking Deft Hands. Yes, I will actually end up taking that because we also have this wonderful captain bonus as well, which does make it so that all of our people also gain the same exact resistance to being staggered. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. We'll try to get the blunderbuss and the experimental ammo in the next one. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.